Hey, hobby friends. Your old pal Bo here. The only man on YouTube with a face for radio and a voice for print. And a painting desk for print, too, evidently now. A little bit of ADD going on. Apologize. Kind of batch painting all these Plague Marines and getting ready to start on these Beastmen, and Pestigores, which are also Beastmen that I'll be proxying as Plague Marines since they're only like 10 poses and it bugs me. Anyway, just following up a little bit. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my hobby world. Um, for whatever reason, it seems like once again people are kind of dropping out of the hobby, dropping out of my hobby space. Hard to get people together for games, and I can't judge why. I think I've got an inkling why. I think it's the economy. I think people are going back to work as much as they can. A lot of night shifters, and I think that with all this uncertainty in the world, people are just anxious to put away gaming for a little while and sock away as much money as possible. And I don't know if that's true. Maybe I'm just seeing that, colored by my own judgment or my own experiences. But okay, we're covering this gun here, this bolter with rattling grime. And I'm gonna go through and dry brush it with either a field gray or a dark silver. As soon as I get it base coated well, then there's a rag tied on with a charm, one of those Nurgle fly, little Nurgle fly danglies that the Plague Marines have that I really like when you're putting that on. This guy is getting out of the ass phase and into the part where it's really fun, going over all of the um, highlights and details and actually making it look good. So he's getting up to that point. And so that's the part I get excited about. And then build up some more of the highlights with lighter green where I've filled in the darker, and then go over it with maybe one more coat with a wash. And then with get an oil wash for the eye slits and the mouth slits on his helmet. Yeah. So I've been reading a lot of Burrows and Borderlands again. Getting ready to read the rules through for the third time. I just finished the Magic section, Magik, for the Arduin trilogy. That admittedly that was kind of a slog. There are some rules where, for example, David Hargrave will mention on page, I don't know, 60 something, but he doesn't explain what it is. So I get a post-it note and I write down my question about that thing, and then I get to page 260 something, and then he explains that thing. So I would say that the Arduin, whether you're reading the collected trilogy or the grimoire, is definitely a very esoteric book. There's a lot of hidden things in it that, while fun, require not, how do I say this? Not easy reading. It requires actual study. So, trying to find some bone color, not bone, brown, wildwood maybe. Wildwood would work. I would be satisfied with wildwood. These Plague Marines, they have like wooden forestalks on their bolters, which I think is really, really cool. And a little bit of brown or leather would really make that pop. In fact, I might go over it with a bone first to lighten it up, and then go back over it with the bone to show a little bit more contrast. Let's do that. Let's see what happens. I'm going to put a little bit of sun-bleached bone on my wet palette, and then start over that foregrip really, really lightly. And then I'll go over that cloth over the top with some pallid bone or bony matter speed paint. So this is the Green Stuff Worlds sun-bleached bone. Pardon me while I mix. So I will probably be on Shadow and Sun's live stream probably before I publish this video. I've been a little frustrated lately with the game scene. You know, my work schedule has been really inconsistent, and it just, you know, folks want to play every week. Which I don't know. I mean, I think, as I recall, people used to schedule their games more, get together and say, "Hey, can you play on Tuesday?" "Oh, no, I can't play on Tuesday. I got a thing. I got a thing with my family. My little boys at a soccer game on Tuesday. Can we play on Wednesday?" "Oh, no, I can't play on Wednesday. I got dinner with my in-laws on Wednesday. How about Thursday?" "Okay, let's play on Thursday." Seems to be there used to be a lot more of that, but I think that a lot of people now, well, not a lot of people, some people, they want to play in 4 or 5 games a week, and so they say, you know, hey, I can't play on Tuesday because that interferes with my, you know, I don't know, I got a Villains and Vigilantes game or a Heroes for Shadow Dark. Just shout out my good friend OGGM. We're running a Vigilantes for Shadow Dark game on Thursday. Can we play on Friday? Okay, then you decide on a day versus, hey, we're gonna play this game every Friday. Yeah, and again, that's the reason why some people in the hobby space, they want to play multiple games per week. Yeah, I'm not in that situation. I work 100% night shift, 100% full time, and you know, my schedule, it's not consistent from day to day. All right, so we're just gonna glaze on a thin layer of this bone over this this wooden form, so that when I put the gray, the bone, again, a brown wood, either contrast paint, it'll pop a little bit more. So I'm just glazing this on really thin. It's almost water at this point. More at the top, so it'll be a little bit, I want to try to make it a little bit lighter at the top than at the bottom, if I can. Anyway, so I don't know what your gaming situation's like right now. I don't even know if anybody really watches these videos. I'm going to be 100% honest. But I really like these Plague Marines from Games Workshop. I don't like how long it takes to paint up each one of them to even my crap standard. I'm definitely not. I feel like I could just work on them forever. I know there's a 6-foot rule, and I know there are even people that do play with gray paint, with, you know, gray minis, but I would like to have this army done by the time 11th edition drops. I'm not planning on playing any competitive way. I would like to get in some casual games, or maybe eventually, you know, at least put the army on the tabletop and see how it moves around, be proud of it a little bit. When the Plague Marines are done, I'll probably go back in and retouch up the Poxwalkers, and then start working on the leadership unit and the the vehicles, the rhinos. I've got one box rhino and one Demos pattern rhino that I want to have, and then this little flame doohickey right here. That'll be last when I do all the final airbrushing. Airbrushing the flame effects and plasma, little object source lighting. All right. I'm just going to go through and batch all the ones that have the wood. So what else? Yeah, Barrows and Borderlands. Would like to play more. Would like to play. Really liking that weird sci-fi aesthetic. I know that if you've read the rules, the author Matt, he says you can take it any way you want. It's your game. You can play it. It's more of a just a straight like a D&D with guns. If you want to play like a Solomon Kane type game, it's set up pretty well for that. If you want to play it more as a Barsoom type game, it'll do that pretty well. If you want to do a Thundar the Barbarian type weird weird science fantasy, it'll do it too. That's kind of where I want to take it. I want to play a more Barsoomy type game. Whether I actually do get that done or not is really anybody's guess. I mean, who can tell, right? But like I said, with all the times that I've actually read the rules, I think I'm going to be going through the rules for the third or fourth time this next week. And then reading the Arduin trilogy concurrently. And I know that the back quarter of that book is adventure, and I won't be reading that. So I'm actually pretty close to being done with the rules portions of the book. And then I will definitely be going through and reading it again. I'll probably starting with Arduin Volume 4. And why? Tell you the truth, gentle listener, gentle neckbeard, gentle compatriot, nerd, I don't know. So let's call this a stream of consciousness and a paint video, just to show that I'm still trying to live with my namesake, that I'm trying to paint minis. As much as I can. Paint a little bit as often as I can, and you can see these are in various shades of dun. I've been darkening them up a little bit. The green was a little bit too green. I want to add a little bit more brown to it. So I've been glazing over the AK Interactive and the Pro Acryl dark green brown, glazing over the green to try to make them a little bit closer to the dust guys, whatever they're called, dust riders colors. A little bit more brown, and then just keep a hint of green. Probably be painting after I touch up the poxwalkers again, revisit them, get them divided into 3 squads of 10, and then Terminators. Get a couple of the Terminators on the board, and then the vehicles, and then I should have at least close to a combat patrol once I pick a leader. I think you're supposed to run Typhus with Poxwalkers, but I couldn't have an aversion to running named characters. Why would Typhus be in my little warband? But I do have the old combat patrol, and it's assembled. And Typhus is sitting in one of my boxes with the rest of the unpainted Terminators and Space Plague Marine type duders. All right. I'm going to be over on Shadow and Sun's live stream. Probably. Maybe. If he has one. So, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. If you like what I do, like. If you don't like. If you think I'm up in the night, let me know. I'm just trying to get motivated to actually finish this army to 1,000 points, 1,500 points, 2,000 points. and then start basing. So I've got a bunch of these bases. This is kind of where I am right now with them. These are the Cobalt Keep bases. And I've got some pinned and I've got some based, but I don't really have any of the bases painted. Except for my proxy chaos spawn. Give you an idea of where I'm going with those. I might have shown you already. Rubber band, dope. So that's a German brown, and then I'm gonna give them an orange wash and orange dry brush. Give them a sort of Martian feel. But that's how the bases are gonna be. And then paint all the skulls and everything that are dotted in there. Oh, this one's really cool. This is one of the Chaos Beastmen from the Chaos Beastmen kill team. I got these 3D printed 30K scale pauldrons. And that guy's hurling a gas grenade, so he's perfect for a proxy plague marine. He's the right size. I just need to find I need a bolter, glue a bolter on his back, so he'd be WYSIWYG. And so yeah, he's about the right size. Oops. There you go. It's focused. So yeah, that's the next. That's gonna be the next, and then just proxy those in. You know, not like a whole squad, but mix them in. You know, just mix them in. So again, if you like what I do, leave a comment. If you don't, it's fine too. It's a free country. I bid you peace.